Story title: Revenge is best served frozen. We don't own a car, and live at the end of a cul-de-sac. I have people use my driveway all the time to turn around. It's not a huge deal to me, a little annoying when they compact the snow, and it's harder to shovel, but whatever. One of my neighbors had a ride service come pick up their child every day. The van would park in my spot and begin honking at like 8 a.m. I worked nights at the time. Half the time he'd be half parked on my grass. I told my neighbor that I don't overly mind my spot being used, but not if he's going to honk like that every morning, and especially not if he's going to drive over what little lawn I have every time. She spoke with him, he ignored it. I spoke with him, and got, "What's your problem, man? It's not like you're using it," to which I repeated that I don't mind him using it if he stays off my grass and doesn't honk every morning. Apparently, suggesting he wait till the kid notices he's there or, God forbid, he have to drag himself out of the car to knock on a door, was just ridiculous and inhumane of me. So, I left a recycle bin at the foot of my driveway. He just ran over it. I called the dispatch for the ride service and was told they are subcontractors and technically self-employed, but they will pass along the message. I wake up the next day to pounding on my door. Dude is pissed. Him.
How dare you? Call my boss, you stupid piece of, what the hell is wrong with you?
Me, well, it's quite simple, you were told not to use my driveway if you were going drive on my lawn and wake me up every morning. Now get off my doorstep. Him.
I'll sue you if I lose my job because of you.
Me, you've been warned. Don't trespass on my driveway or property. Again. Dude storms off in a huff, spouting obscenities, etc. So this happened on a Thursday, the kids have a PD day the next day, and it's supposed to be one of those delightful Canadian weekends where it drops to like -40 degrees Celsius. For my American friends, -40 is where Celsius and Fahrenheit meet up. So, it's freaking cold. So that night, I grabbed one of my more beat-up plastic garbage bins, made sure to plug all the holes with a generous amount of duct tape, stuck a sign on it that read, "Private property, driveway not for public use," and proceeded to fill it to the brim with water. Now, before anyone thinks I'm a jerk willing to potentially endanger the other kids in the car, I'd like to point out that my neighbor's kid is the first to be picked up. So, it's just him in the car. Cue Monday morning. He sees the garbage can, backs up a bit more, and defiantly charges the garbage can, as if to teach me a lesson, and proceeds to cause some pretty serious damage to the front end of his car. Dude gets out fuming, calls the cops, and comes pounding on my door screaming about how I'm going to buy him a new car, and that I'm about to be arrested. Cop.
So, let me make sure I understand this situation. He asked you not to park here if you couldn't refrain from honking, then warned you not to park here and put up a barrier. Now, you expect him to be charged and pay for damages you caused yourself to your vehicle in an attempt to destroy his own personal property.
I will never forget the look on his face when the officer said, "Yeah, that's not how this works," and turned to me and asking if I wanted to pursue charges for him damaging my personal property. I just gave him the most shit-eating grin I could muster and said, "Nah. I think we're good." I then went back inside to enjoy a morning coffee while watching him from my kitchen window as he paced back and forth in the cold, waiting for a tow truck and having to call the company he worked for to explain why they needed to send out another driver to complete his route. More edits for closure. No. I never saw him again. As far as the police officer, I wasn't aware that it wasn't up to me, and he didn't say anything about it either. I assume he really didn't want to have to bother with the paperwork, and thought I may have gotten upset if he'd said, "Well, I don't see the need to press charges at this point." So, he made it seem like it was my choice. A cul-de-sac can also be used to describe a street with no exit, which is exactly where my home is. It's easier for them to use my driveway than 3-point turn their way out like Austin Powers. I was drinking morning coffee because they were 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. shifts. So, nights, but not quite overnights, and I usually got up at around 10 a.m. Every time he'd wake me up around 8 or so, I wouldn't be able to get back to sleep. Hence why I needed him to stop.